Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Magic and Miracles, where you learn how to be the magician of your life. My name is Anna, and I'm your most favorite manifestation coach under the sun. Reason why there's no such coaching program like my coaching program, and nobody spends as much time with and on their clients like I do. True story. All the information for me is below. I coach in Zoom sessions and or phone calls. And essentially, I rendezvous with all of my clients 2 to 3 times per week. Okay, this frequency again does not exist and did not exist until I came on YouTube and someone started copying me. So I just wanted to be, upfront with everybody. If you see this anywhere, someone's copying me. I've designed this coaching program myself during the last 9 years that I've been a coach in order to help my clients achieve the best results. And it's a completely infallible program. If you take this, you will succeed if you show up to work, if you don't rebuttal me, you don't resist me, you let me do my job. I recommend 2 to 3 months in coaching with me in order to cover this program. Some people, it's a little bit more, okay, depending on the case, depending if you need to process more. Or maybe you have a trauma, maybe you have extra emotional things that you really need to address, etc., etc. And it also really depends on where you are, on which journey you're on, where in the trajectory of your journey you are at the moment, as far as manifestation is concerned. So no judgments there. Just some people it takes a little bit longer. Maybe some more processing to do, etc., etc. Focus on yourself and what it is that you need to get done, essentially. So again, want to remind everybody that I've added extra packages to my website recently. About 2 months ago, the video school for somebody who cannot come into coaching with me for whatever reason. These are 12 videos. They're recorded with specific instructions, exercises, everything that I go through in my coaching one-on-one. And essentially, this is the complete program. And right now it's at $950. I mean, it's a gift. I'll be honest with you. All right. I've recently raised my prices, and the only package I didn't raise my price on is this one, but it won't be for long. At the end of July, it will increase. So take advantage of that. I've been hearing nothing but spectacular things. I was a little bit nervous about it in the beginning, but it actually works really great. And again, you don't get me one-on-one, but you can also, in addition to that, book a session or two if you have any questions. And of course, you have the monthly audios, okay, in which I go into depth discussing various subjects like manipulating energy, SPs, of course, dreams, remote viewing, magic spells, etc. And this is all the material that I've compiled for my book. And instead of, for now, at the very least, creating a book out of it, I've created this package. And it's really helpful because, again, I go into really the material that I share only in coaching one-on-one and exercises, etc. And also recently I added a standalone package of the magic spells audios. These are 5 audios dedicated specifically explaining, to somebody who is advanced already, okay? This only works if you have covered your beliefs and processed the things that you need to process. But those are audios that are 30 minutes about each, and will explain everything that you need to know about how to create a magic spell and how to cast one. Okay, and again, magic spell simply means energy work. And no, this is not woo-woo. This is literal energy work. We'll live in an energy world, as it were, with energy beings. So you don't have to believe in witchcraft or anything like that to understand that you're made of energy. All right, everything can be used in both ways. So I trust that you will be benevolent with this information, and if you won't be, it's up to you, the kind of blowback that you will receive. So I definitely warn everybody, whatever you do with manifestations, please be benevolent. All right, so I wasn't going to record today at all. But again, when I get inspired, when some idea comes into my mind and I cannot talk it down, I really have to grab my phone and start recording. All right. So the question rather that I would like to answer. And this comes up a lot in my coaching. A lot of emails that were sent to me. And, essentially this is what, the SP conversation is based on out there in the SP realm of YouTube, and why essentially I started talking about these subjects because listen, when I kind of looked at what people are doing with this situation out there, I mean, honestly, I feel for you guys. I really do. Please go with the teacher that resonates with you the most and gives you empowering information. All right. That's a rule of thumb that, not to be ignored. I've seen a lot. People have sent me a lot since I got on YouTube 2 years ago. And it's like so much toxic information. I mean, it's beyond. I specifically remember this one blog, parenthesis here, okay, written by a man. Not that there's any criticism as far as that goes, but it was so toxic, this blog, that it essentially was really discouraging. I can't remember for the life of me now what the name is or whatever, but it was really popular from what I remember, from what the person told me at the time in my coaching. And it was so discouraging, so demeaning towards women. That's the way that I kind of felt about it. And so did she, this person in my coaching. And essentially it compared women to flavors of ice cream. And it was like, what? Some kind of fucking bullshit like that, and so what do you do with that, right? And it was entirely dedicated, mind you, to how to bring back your SP, and this person had a course or whatever and this and that. Like, I would not be taking a course from a person like that, right? So the reason I got involved into this conversation is because it is rather easy, okay? People make it really complex, really complicated. It is not. And the other reason why I got involved with this conversation, other than correcting what's the amount of fucking bullshit out there that needs to be corrected, is to really point in a direction. People who are really interested in bringing back their SPs really need to start paying attention to themselves. Okay, that's where it's at. That's the only way you're going to solve this so-called problem, which, it's not really a problem. It's just the aftermath of what it is that you believe. It's not about you, meaning, there's nothing wrong with you specifically. I mean, like, listen, I'm blessed with clients. They're all beautiful people with the really rare exception. One of which you are aware of, was like, oh my God. But 99.99% of my clients, are beautiful people. Like, there's nothing wrong with you. It's just the ideas that you have about yourself are off, like really majorly off. So it isn't that you did something wrong or something's wrong with you, but the way of thinking of yours, yes, it's incorrect completely. And again, it usually has to do with some trauma panorama that you have to process, haven't processed. In some cases, people aren't even aware of how they're thinking until, for instance, you get into my coaching and I point it out to you. I mean, a lot of people are just, busy with life, like going through life and not having a chance to kind of like stop and observe, like, what is it that I'm thinking every day? What is it that I'm putting it out in the universe? And when you're really honest and really kind of like taking the time to do this work, it becomes like super easy to understand what it is you need to correct, right? So, okay, so I veered off quite a bit, but essentially the question is this, right? The topic is this: if your SP rejects you, right? Like, what should you do? If your SP rejects you, goes with a third party, or leaves you for a third party and tells you about it, divorces you, just straight out tells you, you know what, I don't want to be with you and this and that, or ghosts you, or even, just whatever, tells you like this is not working out and I'd rather be friends, or whatever the fuck they're telling you, right? Basically rejection, okay? Your response should be no problem. And mean it. No problem. okay, and mean it. If you're able to really mean it, and of course, ideally, that's what you do, right? But to get yourself to that point is what I'm working on in coaching with every single person in my coaching who has this problem essentially, or had that problem at some point, or whatever, or is afraid that they will run into this problem again. You really need to understand who you are, essentially, okay? You're the golden fucking Buddha. Everybody fucking wants you. You just don't understand it yet. All right. So because you went into this relationship thinking that, you're this little fucking person without any consequence, this is why the situation most probably happened. Or again, you have a trauma, which, I've worked with so many different people, women in particular, okay, that they have had some kind of a really serious situation that needed to be processed. All right. But in essence, you don't think highly of yourself. And this was going to happen regardless. And so if you can understand this, and if you can kind of like muster up the courage of saying no problem, okay, and be like, go to work on yourself, go back to the drawing board and understand one simple principle. You're the golden Buddha. Everybody fucking wants you. Again, you just don't understand it yet. You haven't like really come to this conclusion, but I'm here to tell you this, okay? This is why you're listening to this, okay? And this dumbass over there, your SP, who just broke up with you or rejected you or whatever, just fucked themselves out of a golden chance with you. It's a whole other situation than you think it is. Okay, so it's like this, right? Work on yourself, come to this conclusion, and this motherfucker is gonna run back to you sooner than you think. Now, parenthesis here still. If you have resentment towards them, if you kind of like putting it on them that you didn't have your shit together, and not in a blameful way, but just realizing what happened. Okay, just kind of objectively looking at the facts. Okay, I was insecure, I was, didn't have my shit together, blah, blah, blah. This is why it happened. Yes, it was hurtful. Yes, it was this, that, and the other, which also needs to be processed. Okay, parenthesis here. And that is very valid. I mean, you're entitled to feeling anger. You're entitled to feeling resentment. That those are human emotions. Don't shy away from them. Completely embrace them. Listen, are you never going to fucking get angry again in your life? Absolutely fucking not. Don't shy away from feeling anger. Like, my biggest advice on my channel is like, don't shove emotions down. Like, you are not going to go anywhere. You're not going to run away from your emotions. The emotions are meant to be felt, processed, and let go of, okay? So if you have that towards your SP, then yes, you do need to process it, but understand what happened, right? And as quickly as you can get to this kind of conclusion, okay? And for some people, not for nothing, it takes a while, because you know what? Some people just lived a lot of life, and it has nothing to do with age or anything like that. They've just been through a lot of experiences, okay? And so that's just what it is, and they need to take their time by coming to this conclusion. So please, another situation that you really have to understand, you're not in a rush in this journey, okay? You're not here to please kind of like an invisible teacher in the universe. You know what I mean? In the universe's eyes, trying to hand in your homework perfectly arranged. No, 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 no. This is not the fucking goal at all. Please relax, okay? And drink some chamomile tea. The goal is to actually arrive at becoming this person who understands what they represent in the universe, okay? And never have to deal with this bullshit again, whether that's from your SP or from anybody else, or just internally doubting your self-value, your confidence, and anything that has to do with your natural value in life. If you tell your SP, no problem, and you mean it, and you feel like, well, you're the one who's missing out, what do I have to worry about? You're the one who's letting go of a chance to be with a person like me. And not for nothing, again, most people, like again, 99.99% of my clients are beautiful people, kind, just don't know what they represent, don't know their value, kind, empathic, really hardworking, ambitious, creative, beautiful inside and out. Okay, do you think they make them like that, like all the time? Look around you. If you haven't already, okay? Like, look at yourself in the mirror and notice how beautiful you are inside and out. And especially people who want to do this work, who want to genuinely come from, some kind of a difficulty and really create a new version of yourself. Now, this is commendable. So no person, who is some kind of like a mediocre person, let's just say, as if there is one, does this, right? No person who is not really craving of this being advanced and being something that they're truly, really craving right now. They're really wanting to become somebody bigger and better. No person who doesn't want to do this goes through these kinds of metamorphoses and does this work. Okay, did I just make sense there? Nobody who is lazy and is not worth, spending time on creates so much, in their life towards becoming a better person. Nobody works so hard towards becoming a better person who isn't of value. Okay, so you should fucking congratulate yourself on that. All right. So if you tell them no problem, go ahead. You're missing out on the biggest fucking golden opportunity you've ever fucking had in your life. They will come back quick, like, like a bird on a propeller. Okay. That's what makes them come back the quickest. And when they do come back, make them fucking beg. Okay. Make them kiss your feet and lick the gem of your toes. All right. In the meantime, you will process your drama, you will process your trauma and whatever else the fuck you need to work on, your business, your job, and this and that. Becoming this person for good. Stability is key in your new kind of who you are, what you represent, what it is you're doing now with your mind and what you are creating. They don't need to know the whole story of what it is you work through in coaching or on your own or whatever. The idea is to actually secure yourself in this position of like, yeah, no problem. Please, who cares? I'll give you this example and this will illustrate this perfectly. All right. I had to work with a lawyer one time, and I was shopping around for a lawyer, okay, for a certain purpose. And, obviously in New York City, there's no shortages of lawyers, trust me. And I'm usually a very good judge of character just by the phone. I don't even need to see your face. All I need to do is, see your email, the way you write, etc. And I spoke to a couple of lawyers, and they were down to the two, okay? And of course, sometimes, it's nice to get somebody who will do an excellent job and charge you a reasonable amount. And so one lawyer was charging extra and another one was charging, much less, essentially. Not astronomically less, but, still. And she was nice, the one that was charging less. She was nice, but there was something about her that I didn't click with, This is why, kind of reading people and resonating with them is truly key. She was insecure, okay? On the phone, she was really insecure. She would be like, pauses and kind of like really uncertain of what she was saying to me. And even though the fee was considerably less, I was like, I was like going into this conversation with her, I was almost sold, because a friend recommended her to me. But then in the conversation, it was just, I didn't feel it. It didn't click with me. So I called the other lawyer that was next on my list. And this lawyer was like a Rolls Royce on the phone. All right. Few words, very direct, very to the point. The fee was like almost double or whatever. I didn't care. Okay, because he had this confidence. He oozed confidence, like the phone was melting, in my hand. Because he was talking to me like, like God, you know what I mean? Like he knew exactly what he was talking about. He knew exactly what we're going to do. He had absolutely no issue telling me how much he was going to charge me. And, it was not like a tremendous amount of work or whatever. but he knew exactly what to do. And he, one of these lawyers that is busy, obviously, and has many clients, he doesn't, wouldn't return my messages right away. And that was a little bit, for me. Nevertheless, though, he was so confident, he got the job done, in a few hours for me. And it was just seamless. Okay. And in his voice, I could feel like if I said it was too much of money for me to pay for this, like few hours of work or whatever the fuck it was, he would be like, no problem. Okay, versus this lady, when I thanked her for her time, etc., she kept selling herself to me. She kept telling me how great she was. She kept like, oh, but this is da 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 da, and this is why, and da 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 da, and I was already done in my mind. I checked out. Right. So she, like, the more she talked, the less attractive she became to me, as like, even in the future, if I had any kind of work that I wanted to get done, I was completely checked out from the conversation. And so you could be, now listen, I have no doubts that she's capable, that she's fabulous, and whatever. She may be maybe even more qualified than that guy. I don't fucking know. I think they're pretty much all the same, even though, not for nothing, I got to know the other lawyer, and you know what? Yeah, he is, he's got, like, I don't know, 20 years of experience, and that goes without saying that, when you kind of like, with time, you acquire experience. But maybe this is why, because he knows what he brings to the table. So be like this fucking lawyer. If somebody tells you, no, I don't want to be with you, you'd be like, please, no problem. I've got, you know what? The whole world fucking wants me, okay? And if that's not the case with you right now, then act like it and go to work on yourself. Invest in yourself. I keep talking about this on my channel because that's the only cure for your situation. Okay? Invest in yourself, meaning, okay? Again, let's go through the list. Make yourself happy. Okay? Have as much fun during the day as you can, building yourself up from the ground. If you're crying right now, if you're feeling remorse, if you're feeling regret, if you're feeling ashamed, if you're feeling sadness and rejection, the badu, nobody is going to benefit from it, much less yourself. You in the first place. Go do something that would make you happy. Go take a bubble bath, smell the roses, go buy yourself a perfume. That you really love and adore. Take yourself on a walk, okay? Go watch a funny movie. Book a session with Anna or coaching with Anna, okay? And really start investing things in yourself. Like, what would I love to do with my life for the rest of my life? Maybe I need to change jobs. Maybe I need to create the business that I was like thinking about, like, for the longest. Maybe I need to make more friends. Maybe whatever, maybe upgrade my wardrobe. And these kinds of things that really stimulate your juices in really confirming to yourself the most important person in the universe, you, not in a narcissistic way, but in a really self-love way. Confirmation to yourself that you matter, that what you say goes, that you are the golden Buddha, that you have the power of your reality. And this little motherfucker that rejected you, it means nothing. They will change their mind tomorrow if you act like you're the shit. Okay, it's not the end of the world. I don't care how long it has been. Probably because you behave the same way or you've been dealing with the same issues, okay, in the background, in your mind, which is fine, okay? It's not like the universe is not against you. In fact, when things don't go your way or things are not working out, it's the universe's way to address certain things that are overdue. Okay, nobody's here to punish you, just to get your attention to, hey, you're out of alignment. Why don't you take care of this shit already? Okay, that's what it's really doing. It's not that the universe is against. In fact, the universe is so on your side that it wants you, okay, to go back to your authentic energy. What is your authentic energy? Just take away the drama, trauma, panorama, and underneath it all, again, you're the golden Buddha who's like emitting light, okay, that is like completely fabulous, full of ideas, creativity, and self-worth. That's truly who you really are underneath it all. okay? And the universe really wants you to be that golden Buddha all throughout your life, because what fucking benefit to you or anybody else will you be if you're bogged down by all this shit that you've picked up from Mama Drama Panorama experiences, other people's opinions, and all this kind of bullshit and rejection from people. And I guarantee, if you're listening, this is not the only person who rejected you. This is not an isolated incident. There have been other things like this. This is a pattern. So in order to break the pattern, you really need to be able, okay, to come to this conclusion, like I'm saying today, that you're the shed, you're the golden Buddha, you are the center of your universe, and everything just evolves around you. Again, not in a narcissistic way, but honestly, finally honoring yourself as the creator of your reality. So if somebody tells you in your reality, you know what, I don't want you, you're like, oh my God, that is hilarious. Okay, fine. Like, not even like in a bitter way, but like, oh, okay, fine. So kind of like, being with a golden Buddha is not for you. No fucking problem. You obviously have issues. I don't know what to tell you right now. Your laws kind of deal. Again, not even in a bitter way. Kind of like, okay, so whatever. Why would I fight for this? Like, why would I try to change your mind? Why would I do anything around this? You don't understand who I am? Fine, whatever. Or maybe I didn't understand who I was, and this is the result of this. Fine. Either way, say, no problem. Go back to the drawing board, change your mind about yourself and what it is you really represent in the universe. And really, honestly, all you're really doing is you're just rediscovering who you really are. It's not so much that you're changing who you are, it's just that you're discovering who you are underneath it all and bringing that to the forefront. Because right now, chances are it's the trauma panorama that's at the forefront, not the real talents, not the real worth, not the real authentic energy that is completely within you. It's never left the building, okay? It's just you got really fucking sidetracked by all the other kind of bullshit that doesn't belong to you, okay? And thus, I go back to energy. Not for nothing, but this is why I started teaching energy in my coaching, because here it is, okay? People really, shy away from approaching like magic spells and energy work and this and that. And because, listen, why? Because there's a lot of misinformation out there again. And the way that I teach it is very benevolent, and it's with the understanding that there, all sorts of energies out there. And like I said in the beginning, the energy can be used both ways. Okay, some people choose to, create with good energy, and some people choose to create with not so good energy. Let's just say it that way. All right. But you need to be educated in this department, and, shoving it away and treating it like woo-woo or whatever, witchcraft, it is absolutely not witchcraft. It's only witchcraft if you use it, not in a benevolent sense to hurt somebody. If you're using energy work to create an outcome that really pleases you, that empowers you, that cleanses your energy, you could do all sorts of shit with it, actually. It's unlimited. Then it's simply manifestation, and you're understanding on a very kind of like almost scientific level what it is that you're doing. And so understand right now energetically what you've been kind of like swimming in, this energy, right? That you manifesting these kinds of situations in your life. It has very much to do that you're still carrying the energies of other people, of other ideas that you need to cleanse yourself from. It's literally energetic like that, okay? That you took on those energies for some time and you allowed them to affect you, whether somebody did something on purpose or just, send some bad energy your way, just in terms of thinking badly about you and this and that, truly doesn't matter. It's still energy. Everybody's, again, made of energy. And listen, you're swimming through like literally oceans of energy all day long, especially if you're interacting with people, especially if you're going through a breakup or whatever it is you're going through right now, you're swimming through energy. And it's very important, in my opinion. It's top priority for you to realize what's authentically yours versus what's other people's bullshit. And in that, if you become the king or the queen of really authenticating your energy, and, whenever something extraneous comes in to completely reject it and send it back and only work with your own energy, then listen, there's no stopping you. I mean, literally no stopping you, and it works miraculously well. And so right now, if you are in this rejection kind of situation, understand this is not your fucking energy. What you really are is the golden Buddha. And so if someone fucking rejected you, understand where this fucking pattern of energy comes from. You need to go back and fix that shit. And when you know your energy so purely, so straightforward, it's unmistakable to you. It feels like coming home kind of deal. And I've described it this way in the past on my channel, I believe. But it truly feels like coming home, like this is who I really am. This is who I've always been. Accepted, loved, nurtured, valued. I belong kind of deal, and I'm perfect just the way that I am. Then, you know what? Somebody telling you they don't want you or whatever, you like laugh at them. Like, please, dude. Like, I'm $1 billion over here. So you're saying no to $1 billion? Fine, whatever. You got issues, like I said. In other words, no problem. Thank you very much for listening. I look forward to seeing everybody during the live on Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Just wanted to record this bit for you, something for you to listen to until then. If you have any questions about my coaching, please email me. Thank you very much. Until next time. Ciao, ciao.